It's go-home week for Money in the Bank this week in the Open Mic universe. And we kick things off on Raw with a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Liv Morgan taking on last year's Miss Money in the Bank, Cora Jade. Or so we thought. Piper Niven, who last week was very humiliated in her defeat at the hands of Zelina Vega, decides to steal the spot from Cora, and it will be her taking on Liv Morgan for the final spot for the WWE ladies in the Women's Money in the Bank match. Will 2 times be the charm for Piper? Again, we've seen it all year from her. So close in the Royal Rumble. Final one eliminated at Elimination Chamber. Last one eliminated in an Elimination Battle Royal. Went a pretty good distance at WrestleMania 2 in the China Memorial Battle Royal. Would 2 times be the charm for Piper Niven? It would prove that it would be. Piper going to Money in the Bank to try to earn that briefcase. Then we had tag team action. Axiom and Nathan Frazier taking on Gallus. Been kind of a rough couple months if you think about it for Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Not that there's a lot of guys their size in the WWE, but man, they've been in there with some monsters. First, both of them dealing with Braun Breaker. Now, the team of Gallus, Wolfgang, Mark Coffey. Just doesn't get any easier. And it wouldn't here on Raw, as the team of Gallus would come away with the win. Then in our main event, we would see Finn Balor taking on the WWE United States Champion Bobby Lashley. If you'll remember last week, Lashley in a one-on-one match against the Intercontinental Champion, Randy Orton, where we saw Finn attack Randy before that match. And then after the match, we saw them tangle once again up on the entranceway. Balor connecting with a coup de grace. That wouldn't be what would put Lashley down, but this would be. Finn Balor gets the win, but after the match, the Viper would strike, looking to get a little bit of revenge against the guy who attacked him last week. And he calls for the steel cage to be lowered. And then we saw something really odd. Randy Orton, who would look to strike on an opponent, but then that opponent getting the better of him. And that's not something we see very often. Finn Balor would get the better of Orton here. These two will meet at Money in the Bank in a steel cage for Orton's Intercontinental Championship. Then on Nitro, we would see Jade Cargill taking on the former WCW Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley. We saw last week Jade coming up just a little bit short in her Money in the Bank qualifier to Charlotte Flair. Another good opportunity for her, but unfortunately it's coming at the hands of the lady who has dominated the women's division here in WCW for the past year. You know she's going to have her eye not only on that Money in the Bank briefcase match, but also on Raquel Rodriguez, who is currently in possession of something that Rhea believes is hers. Rhea would get the victory here to kick off Nitro. Then we would have our final WCW men's qualifying match for Money in the Bank. Ricochet taking on Santos Escobar. And if we look back at the last 6 months for Santos and what he's had to deal with in regards to the LWO with Rey Mysterio, despicable Rey Mysterio, currently holding the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. You know Santos would like nothing more than to get his hands on that briefcase. But he's in there with Ricochet, and in that same time frame, we've seen this change in attitude in Ricochet, and since that all has gone down, Not only have we seen opportunities present themselves to Ricochet like they didn't before, but we're seeing Ricochet take advantage of those opportunities, and he does so here on Nitro, punching his ticket for Money in the Bank. Then we would see Bronson Reed taking on Otis, two guys who came up short in their Money in the Bank qualifying matches. And Otis kind of getting a little of the better of Bronson, and Reed had enough. He was getting ready to head back to the locker room. But LA Knight says, nah, not so fast, buddy. And Otis would help get Bronson back into the ring, and this match would continue. Otis has had really a great couple months, and he would look to extend that hot streak here with an elbow off the top rope. Not enough to get a 3 here. And then we would see Otis make a very critical mistake. Misses there as Bronson able to get out of the way. And then we would see what a lot of superstars have seen, and that is the wrong end of a tsunami. And after connecting on that tsunami, Bronson would hook the leg and get the victory. Bronson Reed will meet LA Knight at Money in the Bank. Then we moved over to Thunder. We would kick it off with singles action between Montez Ford and Xavier Woods. Both of these guys and their respective partners will meet at Money in the Bank with the WCW Tag Team Championships on the line. The New Day issued this challenge to the newest tag team to WCW. We've seen the first 2 years of the universe, what the Street Profits have been able to accomplish. And they're going to look to bring that championship pedigree here to WCW. Montez came away on the losing end here, but we'll see what happens at Money in the Bank. Then our final women's qualifier would see Michin taking on Bianca Belair. Michin still looking for her first championship in the open mic universe. Bianca Belair, a former one-time WWE Women's Champion. But now that she goes here in WCW, definitely looking to kickstart her WCW career off right. And to do that, she would look to find her way into the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And the funny thing is, this year, we've got the change of rules. Bianca could cash in if she wins here in WCW, but could also go back to WWE and cash in there as well. Then in our main event, we would see our WCW Cruiserweight Champion, Dirty Dom, taking on the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Dom here with a 619. And then we would see Ilya Dragunov come down to ringside and look to take off with Dom's Cruiserweight title. And that would kind of open the door a little bit for Cody Rhodes to take advantage of the distraction. Huge punch to the face of Dom. Who hasn't wanted to punch Dom in the face? And then they would get back into the ring. Cody coming off the top rope, elbow to the back of Dirty Dom. Big slam there from Cody. And Cody would make a critical error, and Dom would look to take advantage. Connects with a frog splash, not enough, but then Dom going back to the well again. Connects for a second frog splash, and that one would be enough to get the win. Been a really rough couple months for Cody Rhodes since being taken first overall in the draft. Dom victorious. He will go on to Money in the Bank and defend his WCW Cruiserweight title against Ilya Dragunov. Then to kick things off on SmackDown, we would see Giovanni Vinci taking on Trick Williams. Last week, we saw their partners meet in singles action. Carmelo Hayes coming away with the victory over Ludwig Kaiser. Referee not seeing the pin here. That's probably about a 12 count, but hey, Kaiser removed the turnbuckle pad. Referee trying to keep these guys safe. And really, in the end, that ends up hurting his partner, as Vinci, I believe, would have got the 3 count there. But that's what happens. Trick able to get the cover and get the win. These two teams will meet at Money in the Bank in tag team action. Then our final qualifier, Karrion Kross taking on Logan Paul. And Kross starting off like gangbusters in this one. You guys will remember there is some history with these guys. Logan Paul, when he made his return at WrestleMania 2, competing in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, he would go on to win. The last guy he eliminated in that Battle Royal, none other than Karrion Kross. Now that both of these guys are in the WWE, great opportunity before them. And Logan Paul would connect here with a buckshot lariat and kind of catches Kross off guard, and that would be just enough to get the 3 count. Logan Paul moving on to Money in the Bank. Can he go on to win and shock the entire open mic universe? Then in our main event, we would see Jacob Fatu, this time taking on main event Jey Uso. We saw him take on and defeat Jimmy Uso last week. This time having to contend with Jey. Jacob with a very lazy pin attempt there. Connects there with a moonsault. Not enough to keep main event Jey Uso down. And then we would see a little bit of frustration kind of build up there with Jacob Fatu, and Jey would look to capitalize on that. Comes up just a little short there. Flying headbutt off the top rope, connects. Big power slam. And then goes for the cover, and that will do it. Jey Uso comes away with the win. That's going to do it for this week, guys. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, especially if you don't want to miss what's going to happen with Money in the Bank coming up real soon. We'll see you guys next time.